Well, we have a mamma in our car, but just medias. We were live on OK 101.7 FM. So, any partner radio stations are running na. And they just only just say they call MPP for live because the rate at which are primaries no time national. And therefore, if you see, said the punchlines, almost to star bia now to say, hey. Primaries way ebe wow. Although me have predicted say primaries way endu nana done alanche mante also 2007 and 2008. That was a very major primaries. The drama, the pomp, the pageantry, the sika, the moneycracy. We are no free or no more. Okay, that is the same elections. Anipa 18. Eka picking nomination forms to succeed President Kufuor. That was a very historic primary. So our primary, me nyasho MPP for na kasa crap person omuko kuduro. But me ma akwa babio. I okay 101.7 FM. Me say from me Vim lady. Na unim say a broadcast ko mi gachu FM okukren to me. Your live so high live radio, your live ewo NASPA radio, NASPA media, ewo UK, any all live so Adafupa media, ewo Belgium, any France. Di yama good evening ni akwa, but you are in good hands cause yeah, we new beer side, you bet me a fire no style beer no cranny eka, ubeti atie, untie nem umpa wawa semwa. What you say, but that is how we do this game. Mini production team, no Mr. Kojo Hansen, DJ All Black, ne Ansa, and a abo captains, but DOP at the Bedia Koso, say a first producer at large, on senior most, and no. Inti MPP primaries no, but answer our question where mommy say who's MPP for? You think that primaries, how they are managing the primaries, just say, am I serious for 2028, 2032? And beyond that now, do you see that? I almost say primaries bia bibi says now no na MPP miracle aboaje ka say oh we cry the share that you NDC Funka games. I understood. But I don't think the NDC Funka games ever told Nanado any Alan Chemanting Alan Cash. That was when Alan Chemanting was Alan Chemanting. Now Alan Chemanting but no say Alan Cash. I would do to say yes, Alan. In 2007, 2008, I did some work with Alan Chermantini, Joe Gate, Papa Uswankuma. I mean, I was in charge of multimedia media buying. Obi person or political advertiser, you have to go through me to go to sales team and a marketing team at the time. So I did a lot of work with party for no NDC headquarters. In fact, 2008 elections, I was covering NDC headquarters, MPP headquarters, and electoral commission. No one else would say Agbozege. Agbozege. So yes, elections in here. And it's elections so now you call time. I don't think say in the history of Ghana, election but to me I as controversial as that election, but we've had very controversial elections too. 2016 very controversial. In fact, 2012 elections they call your friends Supreme Court no my election petition bear muno. Very controversial election. And 2020 elections, seeing that NIPA 8 FMU, that was also a very controversial election. But 2028, now you won't be the Ghana in many generation until that election there were both again. Now elections have to say yes. Now call these primaries. And I do for what Tibia Canada Agyapong. I'll play you a picture of a video of Natoshi. Natoshi so I think between Baomiamo and Canada Agyapong camp and elections were umpo between Ken and Baomia. Brian Champo Munina, Brian Champo and Catten himself or the testing waters. But you see, to be fair, Brian Champo who shake it tables. Western region, when the videos will be from Western regions are what you say, Western region for not to the World Cup. Although Brian Champo free Western region, free Eastern region, but Western region for not for Brian Champo World Cup, out to say, omu feeling. Omu feeling, omu cast, omu tuamana, Brian Champo Subenya squad. So me, I like what is going on because I mean, what you say, Brian Champo represent the new generation of politicians. Eba game, and it's a good thing about NDC MPP because if you look at NDC, so some of the young men omudin swaba ebini omanebo ameya ba mo wodi na apakan ya ba be fa no kwenka omanebo ama was in line to succeed President Mahama. But even say see I crowd no dey ever say obi to say Julius Debra anya bad cry onye old biasa or no so onye young biasa, so he's cutting across between the two. between the old generation and the young generation. A also the MPP for issue no. The young people now, which is why Canada Japan candidate channel is also doing magic for MPP. Because Canada Japan, the chunk of more supporting Canada Japan, your youth now. Osha Ghana voters register anymore. Omunkuta 10 million plus. And the MPP say Canada Japan we knew they must do a very solid work of bringing Canada Japan on board. Omunim no ye bibia na Canada Japan ko tietia na switi oni Canada Japan nye obi anim onye Canada Japan no oya obi anim na no oya Canada Japan didi atem obi anim odidi atem but ne plans so ne say oya charismatic oya energetic he's able to pull crowd. And you can't talk about Canada Japan negative there me omo didi o matem we didi matem bi enye radio so no de ba here but me ne Canada Japan free tema. Mimi fee near okay 8 houses or so obedu Canada Japan fee come to 12. And so me akra we didn't matembi, but I cannot even deny the fact that you can't say you're charismatic. Why no say magnet or to meet your tredom or to trim nantie or to trim mabawa and because or ye papa or ya doye or chesika or cheniema and you can't deny that young people no peno. You see Canada Japan is the poor land bantam of cheddar. Cheddar to the boss no managing who here. Cheddar will become like a combination of Canada, Japan, and President Kufuor. I don't think that Cheddar started and maybe I know you know. I thought Cheddar, you are doing too much. Slow down. Because who a few times. This whole play game near Cheddar. Whoa, not Cheddar crying more than a lunch manting. Cheddar, on your more than a lunch manting. It's the Cheddar to the boss and make a you do that when you you do feel alan cry and you do feel alan chairman Musalan textiles and garments 2000 between 2005 and 2008 many alan a year juma sa me see 2007 alan chairman te be candidate edino me na me running in media Musano ansa na adaka bremu nyina ba picture nim say John I was doing his media by me Best 3 a.m. na fe na me free cantonment to say airport best come multimedia me papa oswankoma your friend say Jogati yes and to be advert between all the political parties NDC be advert me na me kwaje banam de abre multimedia me na me kwaje ban say do re bia ade advert abom so 2 a.m. be share e was say me ko go si chum ni sika and that's why our abutre can go si chum I didn't know you on your boat. Kojibra 2 a.m. go if you're Kojibra. Just have a corner of Kojiba. Share. Ain't Alan, Meme Alan, but you see, Alan here and there, mistakes here and there, be a kaya and go on. But you see, now no hopes in bad programs, who hopes in car, they hopes in say. So I United Party no or Martino. Omu be taking all the errors plus and minus somebody a new party no. Then 2028 a bad thereof. 2032 a bad day. He gets support and funding, no, he can succeed in getting Canada Japan vote, no, any Kufuor and Penifone type of vote. You know, all that they are doing is solid, but this primary is where Allah. And then I say, now she cross a carpet from Baomia, about Canada Japan camp, and I'm saying, a judge them. Now she see a tema against tema. Or no, yes, and cry for no mere typical traditional cry for no mujirite. And Cranford have not been able to receive or that they've not gotten what they deserve from NDC and MPP. And Cranford. Because a crap your politicians are we are legit free honor. Yen shed then yan tiny beer. Yeah, oh, you just said Emma, I am saying, a first saying former attorney general, but still speaker, running mate, and a great encouraging. See, now Toshi is bringing that following to your friends at Canada, Japan. And knowing that now Toshi was in Baomia's camp, that was a blow. And one Baomia camp talk of a year address of Waba. And address of to style be a man in Canada, Japan. Address of I don't blame address of. Yeah. What is address of fire Canada, Japan? And yet just because of politics. And the baby daddy. No. Canada, Japan, address of Bantano. And you need 100% politics, you. Because I may tell me who's address for Yare, now you TikTok, Nanya, Yare, and I'm address for your son. And Canada Japan knows this. I am yes, some way make because I shouldn't mean my details of say or yare, but I know say Nanya Adwasafo ani and I know the TikTok no. And Obi one vulnerable state. That is when you expect to say. And then you be a kind of baby daddy and your back open on and one in one column you. And can second the Japan be shen a cheat. Knowing that Adwasafo crew no worry no we are no worry no even the back of some. What can the Japan the only Adwasafo back of some 2 ounces Adwasafo other power for more. Ewa abonti anka wo can the Japan and ka obekata na da paso. When I can protecting the dignity, when I can protect Adwasafo reputation, say the echoes or TikTok na Adwasafo ye nye no you okay ya on yes sir na ebi binti e na o yes sir enti Adwasafo so awo enti ni nyina ka ho na ye ne sa enti onko no hwe no da bi Canada Japan by UTV no be fire no. That is where I thought Canada Japan crossed the line. Enti asese kokra man fere so obetare ohun so awon so fere so odi asawa bebe pia na tiko eno na Adwasafo ye no. Enti Adwasafo nya so ye campaign ama ba omi akeka opeka ba omi asem. At a point, she too, she was being considered for running mate, but Oya young. It will say yes when him. But Adwasafo ponche Canada Japan because on him say Canada Japan tama ono Adwasafo ada pa ada bontin ken wa mekata no. Nti ho de Adwasafo cause me I will not fault Adwasafo. E ho na first one na Canada Japan ye wanya de. Wanya de. But me say it doesn't change the fact that Canada Japan and a teaching youth no ba MPP. Enti samu pe youth wa na no UK MPP chairman ka se nke be ya ko omuni mienu nyina kasa na ka make Baumia the candidate maka Canada Japan nya running mate mo anya sa de way ade na ko no de mame bo video ni che Adwasafo tutu guy wa fire no style bi camera we so den na ya na tete me sa na me say heat no so na fe bibie shake e vibrate style bi enti en ko Adwasafo Baba na atoshi de no so akere mo.
Du na ama wan. Dr. Mahmood Baumia. Me come outro. Ena me ka sembi na to obi ati. Me ye politician. Ena honorable Kennedy Agyapong oye politician. Kugudu. Minim say delegates bebre wa ha. Wukunu eye polling station executive. And our yere enso ye polling station executive. Mesrao obi ankura na dwen. Obi ankura na dwen wo politics mu. Obi ankura na dwen. Iti honorable Ken kura na dwen. Okura ni ambition. Meso mi kura ma dwen. Meso mi ye man manyosem. Na manyosem na obi a eye no. Obi akọ baby a ne ho be dey. Mese dey obi akọ baby a ne ho be dey. Dr. Boacheka so kan sembi. Maintain honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Menene womba pore ahofefo mienu. Ba mu abaako e na oba abaako. Iti maintain honorable Kennedy Agyapong. But your family and friends and ye Who go do? Messi ya Efiena yabalo. Gugudu. Gugudu. Pacho muntie mi o. Opposition na yaba na yabe fie no. E wo se ye be sua nyansa o. Ya kwotena ban mu ye family and any ye ne. Iti amanyosem a ye wo party level no me Adwasafo me se me nya dey esan se ye kwa ba mu koye bi ebo aye ya na asa mo aye na me mamu example bi me ko study contest here to be MP in the year 2007 atene we di amanyosem mu a wo koyi mu abesi nne. My serving as member of parliament for 12 years. My deputy majority leader. My minister for procurement. My minister for gender. It may be some say. Men and honorable can Agyapong so ayane die meboa menka se ono na ebefa na mom ye assume se wafa na wakotena Jubilee House na mimi CV eda ho ya ka CV ya so wo kopa adwuma na mo hwe adwuma amaye ene somo amasom oman yi ene mama ne ko na se dru ho na obetimi ahwemanimu aka se oba menene wo mamienu ma appoint no as minister for BB Ejabeto Ghana. Kukudu. Mesidiai. And the Kennedy Agyapong mimi nimu no amene na wumienu no. Oh yeah. Into my political career is at stake. My future is at stake. And my future is with Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia.
Adwasafu no. What the Adwasafu can ya when intro or say Kennedy Agyapong ba on man appointment. And truly because there's a bad blood between them. On one case clarify say on time Kennedy Agyapong, which I know so on time Kennedy Agyapong, the only one cry but there's bad blood between them. And no matter what Adwasafu be Kobian said there's bad blood between the two of them. And he said the comfort can say I say Adwasafu Beka say on Kennedy Agyapong sheda any sem or supported by me. I think that what they are politically no. Adwasafu should not have explained it the way I explaining it because yes, sir, it's making Bawumia rather look bad. Say Bawumia bema oppose unti, and I will can say no. But I can say, wow, we are delegate no. Wow, we are delegate no. Second day Japan ba ebia on foul. What I say, but don't say it's a me because then you are making it personal. And I'm making it personal. Delegate not to an OT or no before say, oh, yes, selfish. It's in our kind of time. I just say, who position our Benyenti and we are against Canada Japan. But I think that you are only one Columbia, no. You stood a very good, you are in a very good position because I Canada Japan, me da sorry, and your mouth on Columbia, the minimum subai. Nisuba we nanye, intimamunto mano, we anywhere nanye. Anyway, that is what I think that Adwasafu should have communicated. But just Obeka say, oh, Canada Japan on mommy post. Now our mommy post, my political career is at stake. I think that one you were sounding selfish. I don't think that one is making you look good. That one is not making you look good at all because Bawumia position now making no. What I say, Bawumia is positioning himself as Obi all round. Obi or your objective, Obi or in the policy, no will be no respect of persons. So if that is the case, they are making look like you see, I make they are politicians over here communications. So say I am media, Juma channel, and I may advise one card drive. You don't as somehow can you solid, but present it in a different language, communicate it differently. Then you will reach the delegate. Because to be a delegate, nothing just I do better me to my bow me and I will call you post one. I meant to you see. But who person would say? Una winim Canada Japan and da sorry I won't call him bosome and sound column you know. Ne strength in any weakness in here, and by his weakness, no, do not vote for Canada Japan. That is what she wanted to communicate. But she ended up making her job more difficult than they was saying to me, you know. You see, but I'm saying, say, this Canada Japan here, you afraid. I will show you video of a year first and I thought she's one fire a year first. Bawumia so style there of course now Toshisu every Bawumia camp. It's now Toshisu call around and I say what say Ashanti region ama Bawumia basa. The argument that now Toshi is making in Ashanti region is also that there be Bawumia so same fata. Enti mo monto ma Bawumia. What I say now Toshisu say mo. Edi ama Bawumia in Ashanti region said the Adwasafu so she wanted to say mo for a phrase saying Canada Japan but she didn't communicate her message well. She did not communicate her message well. And the Adwasafu Sabra become a whole video of Yera Kwating in response to Adwasafu no. Ono aba bontia ba be kasa Adwasafu kan ya wo moa because Ken Baswa all my family and friends. Yes, no sabi ono wa wunti. No abeche position or more. And that's spot on communication. What I say be coming ko anke ko ti kwat nkra ni se correspond. Mami van ko a friend say a friend say Brian Champon camp.
Mami fete Mazuko Mami tene bae Mazuko Emo mari teresa e Chemio Nana te diazio Sunsuni eluao Nana pamo Nana Mosheneao Amademao Bemasuko Nana te diazio Sunsuni eluao Mami fete Mazuko Mami tene bae Mazuko Emo mari teresa e Chemio Nana te diazio Sunsuni eluao Nana pamo Mechichibe mulio Basi ayajo Oyale die amalio Nyamila wo Wajini Ejabokao Nana wajini
Dr. Brian Champon so na de ne de na Western region no to say musa on there makache mo no target 2032 nani abrese 2032 no bra ba omia no ne ade nyina omo ayemre no because ba omia okowe ya I don't think ba omia can make an argument bi so omo sanfa ne ko bi 2032 say MPP for enforce man winning this election and about me last year. No, Dr. Brian Champon, you can clearly see if you do the analysis, say why or targeting the target pan any 20 a year first 32. Now 2028 need you say anybody's game. It can go anyway. Maybe when I touch it and I'm trying to get out touch it and no try say mama baomia. I make us a say 1 month today from Western region all the way to Ashanti region or say mama baomia san say mon nkofo nto mama baomia. Na ni nyina na think Gideon Boako so asem okokan ya etia na atoshi to kan bi. And now we Gideon Boako asem ni free one man and say abronya so attack na atoshi pa na ama na atoshi to ani abrese na yesa ade papa nya hwede a bone so nya hwe ono so call all out into ono so ebe fire no cylinder bi. And this is where the problem is. This is the problem. Akofa we nyina ba nti man ko bre na atoshi su kro de na ono so ebe bre e friend say baomia so ko nti Ashanti region de minim chese adwuma na atoshi I don't know chese why yire no ho fire no cylinder bia o cry chese and because last election no she was almost as baomia almost like a running mate to baomia ntino fila or war from baomia company adenya asem ketwa enti ana ye ne first Jude and Ghana money Mr. Boache aka Ghana Kodongo Kaya no no so between enkomo na ahwe ni nyina na ehu said ensem no etie we'll be looking into details all the issues na akwakofa this MPP primary saba amana akwakoye very critical elections very critical elections I'm say obia we'll look at all the issues like question person increase lighting na me why na as a lighting no aye dark we'll go into all that me person me transfer na to video say that mo be hu say enya me na ma ha mani na me kan wo betena na wo ka say nkofo say o wa ha wani na kan enya me na ma ha mani in fact wa fire ba omia and am ka say enya once what ade oye na Ashanti region other places nyina every day bi okwa of fire nti I want to show you people what mama me ma mumre mu ne hwe preliminary comment on Adwasafo ne Kennedy Agyapong issues ya akwakoje goma kwagugu ate so respond ya ono so dia basa Kennedy Agyapong ba anya de obema no Adwasafo position bia Jude mama good evening ni akwa baba jasu medie so
Xavier, good evening. Patrick Michelle, no what's here for you.
Patrick also yeah that be what do you make Adwasafo Patrick nkoso
I want to make us okay. Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of Adwa Safo now going after Kennedy Agyapong, knowing of Umienu history? They say after no holds barred, where you name also be a kutanaji, and what the many yard they say. The facts only Kennedy Agyapong were manning to say, baby, a Kennedy Agyapong one, changing uncle. But what should the entirety of the video? They said, you can say it is Kennedy Agyapong's win is a threat against their interest and their political career. No? What do you make of that?
But I think I'm not paying me who video, no, and not kakrasa, but even to the point, and I will the way Anna honorable address Safo, Etremu say Kennedy eba onya position near you, and I say, Mama Junimaya na kakrasa, and say, as I think I say, oh, cassette here, honorable Kennedy Agyapong, but in a way, inadvertently, you are campaigning for him. Because the man has always been preaching, say, or no, on yet family and friends. Or so in a year, because Kennedy, I can on several platforms. So in a year, or so in a day, or no, all my family and friends. Now, so in a year, now opposition now, yeah, you're me actuatu. So this is what the man has been preaching. So to say, oh, you sue sa example, I'm not meeting on a panel. I just was like, maybe Kausen KB or use example for the cancer man or person can. But to come back to the fact that I think address for Pacho honorable Pierre Casasano. I think that drew a very critical part of the campaign. Wow, with the politics you've sat in strategic meetings, you know that this is straight strategic move. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong has been silent. He has been very, very quiet. I'm not trying to be provoking. In fact, the Faha and Krabia be dinner term, and fact, now Bronya be dinner term, and fact, no one classmate attachia Abeke Kansem, and fact. It's like the weakness of Kennedy Agyapong, as most people know, and they say Obeshele before. Na obeba no baba kasa obaba to jagum and no na obeya as a nipa bebre and you're comfortable with nipa bebre pe Kennedy asampa, and there's no doubt about it. Me and me too, I said also can me boss ya lunch on but I have a lot of respect for Kennedy Agyapong, nipa bebre penasam. But what makes people uncomfortable with honorable Kennedy Agyapong it to the beer a general bekekegum and tisame and I'm strategic meeting asia nipa bang. And obetima babontia, obetima babe kasa, it can get some kind of response from Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
So you are saying about me, team was being strategic by using Agyapong to attack Baumia.
Timing, a strategy. This is not just a mistake. And we are getting to the end of December very soon. The see January more campaign or back and like you're saying, Honorable Natushi has been, throwing also money, the jobs and everything, but Sebia, how do you get Honorable Kennedy Agyapong to come out and speak? How do you get him to go into that, as it makes people uncomfortable? Because I know the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong lose votes. So, okay, so, a few weeks ago, we'll show you, may commend Nipa or Rane Kennedy campaign. And now Honorable Charles Bisu in charge of the campaign. And I was saying that they are doing a very good job. So make and then who said Honorable about UTV or your UTV interview. Make and Kameda Kamin Kwanka interviews in Kwaonyai and a UTV interview. I mean one through a UBR there.
And why you want a interview? Kwaku and I said Bisu.
Kennedy Agyapong Ankasa.
Kennedy Agyapong. Come on yet.
Made interviews in Kwaonyai. Norma ne guys kwatemone kobiamo the guys your moye interviews ne nkoso anya no onye ne on the ground campaign, because the strategy is once you get Kennedy to start speaking and start blasting, he will lose votes. It's not. Why be what you're trying the classmates, you're trying a bronya, you're trying we will be here. Why be now to say Obabe Casa? And some honorable address Suffolk kind it be more aid to kakra. And Odi Martem and me cry me the baby mama na odi matema na wa or your bar only more baby on for one year. You see those kind of things. These are the kind of things that Honorable Kid in Japan tell but Bible say no so far no. But so far so good. He hasn't, reacted. I mean, I'm sure that who video no, but his handlers are doing a very good job. I think it's a strategy now. The other side that person we use and it hasn't worked, and I hope that it doesn't work basically.
Okay. Of course, my memory can say it's very strategic on the part of Baumia because Ken using Adwa Safono say Ken campaign will walk Baumia camp until last minute. So we decided it's strategically almost said up. I say, Yan fa Adwa Sapo nimna kosi sebi o sebi ni pioto. Yan for no me finish a first Canada Japan. Do you also believe that strategy? Say no Baumia camp ne ye nana.
Okay, yeah, sure. Say, and then let's start this auto bullet. But I want to make a
Yato nka ukamra na freezy. Ndu jina baby ana wona de anka bebo
But I want to make a what to make a
Yato nka pa, yato nka.
and then yes, Auntie Adwa, let's start this auto bullets. Emma Honorable Ken Agyapong. So from time to time, anytime one person almost score some political score, no more co-use. I think the same thing also happened during the previous campaign last year. First off, my main salute to me my Jude, and we here for a Agyapong in us. And this time I didn't be very critical. You see, I know they are using all their arsenals. Young kind who say, but unlike Honorable Kena, Onwankasa, which Jim saw your campaign, which Dr. Baumia side na, I bet the establishment, in a campaign they see organized. So there will be some of the public antics, some of the campaign messages, and some of the body language from the followers of Dr. Baumia and his campaign team. They do not necessarily come from Dr. Baumia.
Okay.
What may I say? A team, personal, as we are looking at it, there are some ministers, there are some MPs, almost a bomb fired, and then they say, hey, Honorable Kemba, and you. It's not like they don't admit, it's not like they don't accept. Say, Honorable Ken is the obvious for this country. Not necessarily the MPP. Do you get my point? Honorable Ken, the body language, the war yen and human from infancy. Or sorry, I'm not part to any million. Not king, and it's a Ghana, a bed, Yakoyanim. Oh, yes, Yamu Bino, yes, Sumo, your spirit in the Honorable Ken Moon. Or travel around Fiti Accra, Ascendompim. Oshe ona otinikamu oshe lagoon na ewo weja nsuo da ho yantam yentumi ya na hwe okọ kakra no hu traffic ewo kaso na adwin na bom. You see, and somebody like that will begin to ask himself questions, say na before no your problem and answer then. And it is evident in all his public pronouncements. It is evident in all his campaign messages. Other
And you think that message no a ground for so muntina. Now Baumia camp we use first and foremost, I'm better or answer whether or not only Judy I didn't say Baumia camp is using Adwa against a Canada.
May support Jude 100% or make a statement to say. And around this time, money follow interviews. Yes. And then me share that follow it. I follow the interview. Even though I'm busting out. Do you get it? But we are there, a human being full of blood, born of a woman. When you are being provoked to the extreme, entering in law, there's a defense known as provocation. What do you mean I say? obi provoke wa na ukoku nipa kra na sometimes ubetumi afa ohwedi using the defense of provocation. And a political provocation no I a dangerous change, especially looking at honorable Ken ni position. Normally the anger no I is not from the messages and the things they do. Oshe nipa na who's a common message be said. Sometimes nipa na okun no enye wo ya se wo bedane wechi nwo bu ponko no wa hwe se wa hu nipa direct pa na wa hwe se kan e dia wa won fe. That is where honorable Ken's pain is. Almost every single person obaba out ebedi no ho agro no e yo obi ono ankasa wa te ne bottom sika o e dia bo omo.
And
Not now.
the utterances justified. And they said the Jude can. I do have to say no crown na umienu no edi na tem da. You are saying that justified.
Hello.
Hello, question me busa say. I just have an argument back over here. All can I say ono crown no ne can one crown mienu no crown no. Why any da? I be saying say o say can ne outburst ni na e first by provocation. It is I don't have to wedding attempt and I don't have to provoke it in Oyanazana.
Exactly. Oh, and I mean, my explain is provocation, you know, it is not coming from the things they say. It is any adua count. But Oju Obia Opa Mado Opa Nyoma Mayama Uriase. Now to me by public. Ebegumeni say, this is the time I need your help. After so many years of being there for you, I quite remember when Michael Kwe Jr., the whole world knew said, "Nay, and the 2020, COVID time, no. Masa, Besha Brandon, Pa Domico Abenya, almost started for Atomic Junction, Medina. Kopie, Pokuyasi. Everywhere, you Michael Kwe. Everywhere was Michael Kwe. Ne Papaso was Speaker of Parliament at the time. So before election, the father was the speaker before 2020 elections. Yeah, 2 years and we back 2020. So the father was the speaker of parliament, and then he had also gone to India or wherever as a high commissioner or discovery. So everybody knew Michael Kwe ebe winning. Sometimes no so COVID no mukaya na adwa safo eja any seats. Ako share USO. Did you get the point? And now Okoba, and also now Oya falling out with MPP. But still, can honorable can say no? Obia menena oba party. Mean to mean tenemechi and famano. Ojani oye na last minute obey a miracle. Edema adwa. And this is the same person and on platform. You see, I'm for the language in an okay, and no balance in a kakra. To me, make pronouncements and yes, I'm a time honorable Ken. First, and then a raw deal last year election, and then a raw deal. But when it here, or policy in the kakra, and so still, your friend kill me softly. Oh, no, yes, or yes, human face something. Honorable attaching, yes, a beer or any mate keke. Onwa nimadia behind the scenes, why the amano. Abronye behind the scenes, on madio, why the amano. And the Okakasan you may now boma. Now, why to provoke? Angana person moodin. And a more so no. And then the interview, or can be said, Dr. Baumiano, or you know, to say angel, or as if say fan. But on information or one on to me found to public. But our count authority say there is nothing going on now, Dr. Baumianya way.
Okay.
It's not directly in the anger now towards Dr. Baumiano. Because on no upper public Abeka said, Omunya campaign of decency. Wait to me where coming insult near the no. Wakachi and crop for so Omunyai. And on one so leadership by example. But Ofi said the other side, Baumia in any Eddie Shannon crop for.
Okay. Okay.
Aha, and way back, no ababeka, way back, no ababeka, and all geared towards young provoking, as we did the last time and now, last minute, or containing one's election day, he had to explode on the election day. What me I say, or a day to. They said
Showdown.
that was a,
Showdown. No.
aha, that was the election day. The first part of the election, the election was in two parts. Before the super delegate way, exploded over there. And outside we Jude, baby, just 1 month, and say, wow, on Posunya the campaign, the message be a ubiano, of farmer delegate. But I dare say, sir, before no your problem, baby, I won't lie, because we share all the parameters, all the issues, they favor honorable Ken. Ghanaians are saying, say, honorable Ken Ebaya. Most people are not MPP members, but they don't mind voting for honorable Ken. So as a party, as
MPP, they don't mind.
I don't even understand human beings sometimes. And I delegate now, so crown, I feel say I am baby now, so no. Who say Omodogano say it should still be personal issues. Somebody will ask the question, say, one call elections as delegate several times. They be about no much cheska or much cheska. What at all do they do for you and your family? Are you getting my point? It's the same situation. Now, one would himself honorable Kenya and Adam yat what to the same kakra for so many years, Wow. On one kasa as a person has been involved in several businesses. On my year president Krano, on one kasa as an individual. What you mean here, Nyoma Kasia, at least we can behold with the eye. Oh, Oko 37 say, if for nothing at all, cry, Obia me for sono. No, no, akoye bibi mom, Kolebunia de such as a person. What can several times say, or the who or the who bar for there, or to know where see or the no about for there. I'm a kind number. Sisi somebody was say no. Nkrumah, he believes in Nkrumah. And your man Nkrumah be no. The die as soon as say or no
Another
conversation.
more. Council Homesomame, because I think that I don't know. I've heard some very senior MPP before who said that was a blow to MPP because MPP need a UP tradition, completely opposite in Nkrumah vision. And it's a wow, yeah. Okay. Council member, oh, they're to council member. Also, I'm Brabby, I know about him. I'm ball up. Maybe I want to do my books. I say, the people who are saying such a but Umia is not the best candidate for MPP for 2028. What do you think? Who between Ken and Baumia? From Alan perspective, why now would this second? Because I'm before the end, and I say, NDC 1 term, you cry NDC 7 1 year, no cry NDC a fairly portal. Now, Prezi Nanado say, oh, you savior, we crash as Nanado. I disagree, Kakra, because Nanado in Nabai was not without mistakes. There were several mistakes. You went here, but between who can rescue MPP from opposition? Why?
With the man saw question now, who can you no say my ball up near you? NDC by when your position because you maintaining or say
I know, yeah, channel Canada.
Me just say Ubisamia in my personal opinion, and like I always say, me I'm with Alan Chamatin. I have my reasons. I am still with Alan Chamatin. I know the Dachibia 7.
Even they say I a new party, you are still with Alan Chamatin.
Because the political parties they are just vehicles.
Okay.
They are just vehicles. And to me, in my perception, the leadership counts. So, because as my casa somewhere from 2023, the leadership counts. And if you study the political parties, now if you are someone you've been around for a long time, almost the difference is beyond said anymore. Trust me, political parties no difference beyond said anymore. The leadership counts. Into here, hold on, into coming back to your question now. Say NSA say what's you're Kennedy Japan. It looks as if say he's been listening to my boss Alan Kojeche on industrialization power.
Okay.
Because in the Kasa Yemu and in the BBR first, now he will make statements, may you say, but you say routine the Kasa Mua. I said, what say the mechanics of the industrialization? I said, and to me, say be or yeah, I decided.
Oh, you know, Ogosugu Alan, so they be a man and two for
yeah, exactly. Because for someone like me, and they may be sound on appealing to me. So on the matter, and to be an anchor and cannon, Sankabiana said there be a honorable Kennedy, a C and the politics, and to be a crown and my mayor uncomfortable. The kind of messaging as say or they to people like me, is very appealing to my ears.
Okay.
So on the matter, I'm not saying that me me kwakotwa ama honorable Kennedy Japan. Like I said, me the baby jina baby or but looking at the two. Say be honorable Kennedy Japan and Dr. Bawumia me trust honorable Kennedy Japan more. Say Niama all can obetimi aye. Because we've all listened to Yera Alaji Bawumia from 2008. Wakan Sempi. And I'm not trying to be a denigrating and then someone can hear. But yeah, Lord, let's just I just
have to answer that question. They say, Bawumia was just a mate to Nanado. And then Yamani Bebre, no, you ain't him, Sana Gabi, no cry, do baby, or more power chain Bawumia. Can Foyata, Bawumia Nakasa can by 11, and Bawumia Kwan. Other people have also supported, say, no, Bawumia was against 11 as cabinet. But Nanado and Tiano Muchifa, Suma, can Foyata, Koya and Adia. And I don't want to answer that question. They say, no, he was only a mate. And he should be believed because then you know you're in charge.
So that's what kind of means. I think so. They are trying to insult our intelligence, honestly. So you'll be what the inner workings of MPP politics now. Yes, I'm not saying that na can offer ne gabi more any some kind of influence, but so the catcher me say na you're a large Bawumia just a mater. That you are insulting my intelligence because they say be bia eye papa wo na eye papa ewo your Kufa do abembia no Alaji Bawumia is claiming it. Intimate, you are claiming semina miye way me na me ma way by me na miye say but when it comes to the force and nema MPP ntman ye dia na uye mate also no yetini na nim say your Kufa do ejaya ban ne share wonsa in the bid to make you the leader of MPP. Emma, she said, even in Senegal, I told you, I said, Kasana person can't be, but ye say, yet not a bit more so. Yet not a bit more innovative ideas so. At said, you're Alan Martin. Just said the way a will be leading government.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
one exactly. Wouldn't you did be a show on sir? You jai be a show on someone now manage economy, lectures. Now you can't say what you say. Now, a ba Nasa Nema and Goyedia or say not me mate. I mean, I think that that's a bit of an insult to intelligence. Or say, or you're bold, not or accepted the mistakes. I think say Kibiko or Statifri by now, and a lot of people are accepted an apology. Accepted and then some more kinds of saying. But I said, one person will be accepted the mistakes. I know they're not who you meet. All of these things when it comes to elections I'm sorry, I'm brought from the door. So I said trustworthiness is very important. It is the trustworthiness skill and a Juma there. I think the honorable Kennedy Japan trustworthiness skill or the skill also very, very high as compared to Alaji Bawumia. And for someone like me, I don't mean share propaganda ne sa ne manema na ekoso politics metis political strategies I say minim said you see a set agenda. We have done it. It means and it doesn't face me. And if I'm looking at them, I'm looking at their trustworthiness. And the messaging now, or what they must say. They say, Yera Alhaji Bawumia, what is the message? What is the message? Even in their internal politics, but just say, besides say message by pan and say Alhaji Bawumia at the 12 what is the message?
What kind message? What kind of leadership? What kind of job creation? What kind of digitization? Those are his messages.
What are the mechanics? Job creation, or say job creation. They don't obey or the job creation.
I think I know the digitization or Matimumda, but I say it should be at the top of everybody's head.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So it says, "Ufa honorable Kennedy upon message in all year. Anya want to shake crown. Obekai so say eternal deben obey say I want one cash and go Obekai so say northern region there. The 5 northern regions, more arable lands, obey agriculture deben obey move a great ministry to the northern region. These are things that people can relate to. And as a metese obi to say honorable Kennedy upon air kasa na mijinidi, because you look to be able to put someone on a high skill, on a trustworthy skill, no, or shed the wire in the past, or shed the or castle bay, the wire, they even one castle bay and a crown or the yeah.
It's between Ken and Bawumia, for still no. Ken is more winnable a candidate for 2028 than Bawumia.
If you are selling Ken to the Ghanaian marketer, Ken is more buyable. To use quote unquote is not a word, but to the Ghanaian populace than Alhaji Bawumia. There's no two ways about it.
Because I perceive the issue of religion. Because 2024 elections, so religion was a very key issue. And until Mahama so for the United almost a kogu Mahama so the way any a double so any. Because thank God for you said and you're comfortable with ceremony. Okay, said Reverend Bishop also answer text message you'll be revealing on a software platform when they were saying yempecremony religion. Let's see whether 2028 no religion so ebe play role say Christopher Betwama Bawumia no one cremo for no cross Betwama nana.
So when we are looking at that we have to look at it in relation to the opposition parties are money on the 2028
but even within the MPP, no, there's also a perception say even Ken also appeal to Nkremofo. Because I say maybe Ken or man in Kremodin because some say do sala or yeah do ya man Kremofoni bebre or show money are they. So that's also within even internal politics, and that is also playing some role. Omuko around that metis almost Ken also and for the with the delegates.
If not for anything, right? Even so by the Ubreki, the 2024 elections in the down. To me, who said the fact said, oh, you're Muslim, no interest, you appeal to all Muslims. Because if I'm not mistaken, President Mahama ABT Alhaji Bawumia in majority of the Zongos and in the Muslim communities. Even the Muslim, for your friend is saying, Alhaji Bawumia, Muslims no crown and tuama Alhaji Bawumia. It's on the metro. And she said, when on the question of religion, whether they play a part in the 2028 elections now, I feel like it depends on the candidates that are presented from the
NDC society,
NDC, UP plus, and they kick out. I mean, NDC and UP plus in free. And to say, everyone said, for instance, if you present Obi to say the current Minister of Education, Haruna Idris, as NDC candidate, Nasa offer Alhaji Bawumia as MPP candidate. In my opinion, I think Alhaji Bawumia has an upper hand over Haruna Idris. Because let's not, I say, among
the Muslims or general public,
general public, and the reason is, whether we like it or not, religion plays a part in politics. But you be a friend of the undercurrent of politics because people are not very comfortable talking about it outwardly. But so Okodru ballot box anymore. A horn and a religious comes into play. I can give you several examples. Even prior to the 2024 elections, me call Asoribi, me Modi, and Sofupenyi bi Edin Komo. Sofupenyi no, which is just or MPP Niama Okay, yes, Yepe Alhaji Bawumia asem. but any idea you better woman. And you know, most of the time when it comes to religion, it's not say be a Christopher pet and someone it's about relatability.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
why not me feel say ne because say your council will be forming the principles are principles a whole lot of things and that's the ideology and they're coming together to form the person's ideology and that's the way we see I and neighbor. So on mention and to say maybe a Christian na say me feel say ebia the kind of ideas and I say and we believe in no I cannot relate that. And no ebia emma me ento abana yet because ebia nipa no as a person and na mempen as Minya a Bobakman, tell me or you sue example be say young fan say oh call Ghana populace no a monkey sanctuary. And I will call monkey sanctuary. Now I try say ube pleasy monkeys na a woman. Young fan say Ghana for near monkeys. Nasa oh orange. Nasa oh banana. Dear him and I will
yeah.
It becomes a very uncomfortable topic for us. But whether we like it or not, Ghana is a 71% Christian nation. And if you are to pay attention to the relatability a lot of people feel more comfortable say obetuama nipa on the same things. And to say monkey sanctuary, and say Ghana na monkey sanctuary now. Majority of the monkeys epe banana banana or banana any orange adentina or the orange ever called monkey sanctuary knowing very well say bananas and the best seller was our monkey sanctuary. This is the argument that some of us made when we're in ebia cremoni ain't mean the president of Ghana. But sometimes you have to look at it. And I may example be say, you find yourself what for Haruna do so a Muslim, what for Baumia, honestly a Muslim. Free the same religion. Then you have to look at other variants that come into play. It's the reason why because say we offer those heads now. Dr. Baumia what advantage Kakrane said. Dr. Baumia some way somehow fraternizes with the Christian community more than Haruna Idrisu. And in that sense, no mumi no head to head, no. Me feel say Dr. Baumia ebeti maybe ti Haruna Idrisu. Flip it. Okofa obi to say honorable chief of staff. I will also say Julius Debra. Na say odena compare your friend is saying Alaji Baumia. That's relatability quotient nebesa come into play. It is not say a Christopher a cremofasem, and I say a Christopher per se cremoni be the president. Cremoni be the president of Ghana, but there are a lot of factors that come into play that will be a friend undercurrent of politics. Nipa Rebecca chose, oh, they are lying to you. We have been around. This is what happened in the 2024 elections. Mahama Jina assemblies are all preachy and the people were not seeing the effect that it was having on the general public. Because or your MPP I mean Kasa Obi says, if you're so I was on the ground doing campaign, but research at the same time. On the ground and Kasa. Mean to mean Kotoma Baumia. Mean to mean to Baumia, even though say me MPP. Not because they be on pet Baumia, but on to me related. In certain aspects, say be on JDMG, on say to the biso fear kakrebi or in some like
the fear of unknown.
That's it. Wesley Girls and Samia Abbey. If you look at the commentary, it speaks to exactly what I'm saying. They are not comfortable speaking out, but only on one-on-one, they will tell you their fears. For instance. Wesley Girls issue Ekosui. And if you look at the commentary that came from Honorable Muntaka, the commentary that came from the Minister of Education, as I said, Yateki stance. And many obi din come walk and say, hey, na your friend is saying, Haruna in the president in Po.
And what you say?
What take stance already. So
The whole name that's all offending Christians need be that
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, until yeah. As a Ghana for to the be an nyacho. Yem pese ye beka no creno. No creno so Ghana koka. We beka ze be a won pen cream for us and said no. But it's you have a 71% country that and 71% Christian people in a country. Now present a Muslim candidate against a Christian candidate. Also, who say already know off the back, you are disadvantaged. Mami from NPP primaries that main fancy ho. One of the reasons why a mami if Philly say Honorable Kennedy say was another advantage. Yeah, mami Honorable Natoshi. May I fraternize a lot with the Christian society. I suffer on and I suffer many penny fine. Later the reason why I sure. But Honorable Natoshi is very liked by most of the senior-most pastors in this country, Ghana.
And Natoshi, I saw for the penasem.
You have no idea. I saw for the penasem, and it's because of the kind of relations that she's had with them over years. And yet, net asset.
Okay.
Into no joining Kennedy campaign. And I'm say, hey. The other side, you have no idea. There are no campaign or any sort campaign. The real effect, is not even being seen yet.
Okay.
And as a religion doesn't play any role. Maybe more intimate research. Be pose be. I mean, people can do whatever kind of pose that they like, but. Obisi me kose eshimitru omu could drew ballot box ni ma ho na obehu so oye presbytery e ho na obekai say oye methodist ni e ho na obekai nanu asem bi a esi wo Wesley girls ene said e obi esi react and the kind of commentary e be a free side be about I think that religion plays a very
because the religion issue no so there a very very critical issue pa but our question my member one here say between the two of them asema na mbusa Juna Omudia in Audi so bet me winning power because the MPP for that down. And this is in charge. Last week now make a be friend, minister, former minister be friend must say if you I don't know. MPP for that from now punch you. I'm saying mom pen no credit. May cannot credit match them. NDC has been so strategic. They are in charge on air, online, underground, on the sea, on the water, everywhere they are in charge. Moluzugab, you got 8 years and you messed up. In the end, you'll be a fault. I was here kind of question. And me busa question between Omutu no Mumu why no bet me at the power MPP for which is what they are targeting anyway.
Yeah, obviously, say a honorable Ken. Now, before I proceed, me use this opportunity to me educate Ghanaians kakra. I think Ghanaians would be pretty much unfair to the MPP as a party. Wow, if they continue to go on that tangent, especially over social media. There is a need for every Ghanaian, every citizen to appreciate the fact that MPP as a party, what may I say, has been formidable, they've been instrumental, they've been helpful to this country. Now, if you want to do analysis of the Ghanaian political terrain, then there's a need for us to disassociate some element of the regime of Nana Akufo-Addo, okay, and separate that from the MPP as a party.
Okay.
There was a very, 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 very big gap, okay, and distortion within Nana Akufo-Addo's administration. Indirectly, affected or no the family, and then also MPP as a party. Not until Ghanaians see it from that angle that MPP as a party is a very strong party. MPP as a party has been very helpful and instrumental towards the democracy of this country, especially coming from the heels of J. Kufuor. Yes. To the extent they say everybody thought the same Nana Addo will continue in that spirit to maintain the MPP as a party. Unfortunately, Nana Addo He never listened to anybody. Oh, and even the party folks, all the party gurus now, they all help to make MPP a formidable and a better place party, you know. Most of them were even sidelined. Majority of them.
Hey, Nanado, yeah, yes, I get MPP as a party. Your point is,
But you
Nanado,
see, Nanado, yes. So not until Ghanaians separate the two instances. Oh, said Nanado ni regime. And indirectly affected MPP as a party. They will lump all of them together and blame MPP as a party, which is wrong.
Lawyer, but
MPP,
said the Biamicano is the fair show so from 2023. I'm cancer. Nana Dubai no be a party in the next personal party. Internet new patriotic party na not all running. And that is exactly what the problem is. It's a new patriotic party, then a formidable party. If you look at the new patriotic party of John Agyapong Kufuor, it is nowhere close or in resemblance to the party now. Nana Kufuor Eberane.
Okay. Now just say in the MPP mo be and to me and stopping Nanado.
Exactly. If you will show you, so we're always advocating leadership, you know, because it may affect you, and nobody was listening. Oh, offer Minister of Interior, Obesha was 8 years. Minister of Defense, 8 years. Minister of Communication, Kase, Massa, ye changes kakra and benefited the other key members of the party. Nana to say on theater. And the body language, so we place it on one personal family members at certain key positions within the government, we are untouchable. To the extent to say, even within the blessed people in the party now, they were MPP. In their numbers. Eba public said no. Yeah, diplomacy behind the scenes. Obia is not listening to us.
Yeah. You
see, at least Ghanaians are saying, say, change, won't change you, because change can operate. I was so shocked. Say, even with the plea and then demonstration of the MPP's own MPs, still Nanado didn't listen to them. Meanwhile, indirectly, Nanado was also performing in some sectors, so he was doing well. But because your personal issues, most often than not, took a center stage, and cancel all the good things you were also doing from the other side.
Yeah.
And now you're saying, what I say, and he didn't want to listen to anybody. So in the end, all the innocent MPP members, MPP opinion leaders were rendered, in quote, useless and powerless. And so about say blame you on me. The social media, you are lumping everybody together. They are not now attacking Nanado because the regime that's a sad aspect. Nanado is never affected in any way. The body obey in Baumia na Wajia first.
And Baumia candidate and in a campaign struggle because you
of course, that's the main factor. Of course, that's the main factor. Nanado no way before, no way before and our punish Dr. Baumia. And Dr. Baumia no instead of blaming Nanado, whilst Nanado was in power. I quite remember they said on 3 occasions, also no, or resigning because Yayan is in Papenyin. Did you get it? He didn't have a voice.
Resign, even when Nanado was in power.
Exactly, yes, on 3 occasions. 3 occasions. If you didn't like,
it's not true. It's not true.
But anyway, that is the perception out there.
Or a co-pilot, but
no, within it, he may be a co-pilot, all right. But he had challenges. Honestly, he had challenges.
Co-pilot.
Yeah, but you questions who catch us and about me also was serious challenges even within government.
Challenges. Yes, yes.
About my fault.
Even
Which was evident.
Krano had serious challenges within his own government. It's a 10-year time and people will agree on everything. But they say not or your co-pilot.
Let me give an instance. Let me give an instance. The e-levy issue was number one problem that brought MPP down. What may I say? It is on record that Dr. Baumia was against the e-levy. It is on record that Dr. Baumia as a person didn't support the imposition of e-levy on Ghanaians. These are some of the practical challenges that he had. But you see, it or not, like you said, he was the co-pilot. But honestly, about the vice president in Ghana, dear, from our history, with the exception of only His Excellency JM, well, in the history of Ghana, JM Kwana as a vice president would do on any this country. Apart from JM, any single.
Hello, council. Okay, council like Natiko. But I think that to be fair, what all of you are saying about me, say the council do defending they say, oh, nyani nyina na osi this one. But munyina mo diatum said there's also a certain level of accountability that he must accept. Say being part of Nanado Abai and not just being part as a co-pilot. You know, he move here there he will be answerable to certain things.
Is if you're not coming in say conversation really crank beko and come don't want videos beba or can't say
videos.
Yes, a Kufado a giant man a man no ashan himself. He's the most luckiest vice president. And a Kufado was doing all of this. Said the bear obetimi aside stepo Alan Chamatin. Baumia noa and numasem. He Kufado engineered everything. What was your giant minor challenge? One how can you? One how can say you are the luckiest vice president because who president technically were giant or minor challenge. Or giant or minor challenge, and I'm more free NDC for not the exchange rate was around $1 to 4 cities. School fees now is $1 to 17.4. And all the I will say now may running mate. It's not me your mate. I mean. That's where I get very, very upset, and I feel like it's an insult to the intelligence of Ghanaians. It's a nipper ways pre-beam set up a source or mine anymore. Under no circumstance should he even be given the chance to go near the presidency again. He had 8 years at the presidency as a co-pilot.
Okay. Very well. Significant. My question me try to connect to be my video now and I'm Baumia camp because Natochi has been doing damage. And with Abronia counter, no cry is not helping them. Now the only choice is I just have no any one man of my because on any one man to your car a between. And I have Canada Japan 2 videos, so by I just
am I winning power? Kennedy or here Japan. People Esno election 2024 and Esno election 2028. Who to me back Obi 24 and to Nipanene ye. Said yes, ye about one ye and no more by ye a betre so bet was one now won't was one. Me shed your ma cost one and I'm here imagine say Messi Sem and Yamin Kwa Dr. Brian Champon, Dr. Dutum, one yina Nanki ye Jumama Dr. Baumia, and so and there one more for forms and a woman can say Jina and I'm a one. And she said, Banny say, one super South Sawa Junior, be any who, and so media. Me ya yano, me name Samuel Bandu, Samian Cranio, just a mean to me one dear. Atem Didier Muko Radio Swa, Brand.
It's in that or she no so or cross a carpet back Ken Hono. Atem Didier Kwana or Mudidino. Let me take you to Ken so dear.
Oh, catch say. for Canada, Japan, Brana, then bar, Yanni Kraiba Tuamana, it's a strong message to you not to make a mistake.
When you miss a baby so on the other side, no, or moon is about to a bum, but they just want to have you say
the flip side. I'm not a weaker candidate.
Okay.
I'm bold and decisive leader. I'm not going to be coward. They see other candidates as a prey. I bet me at show almost so just like me and this is over to me. I am not going to accept defeat 10 as early as 10 a.m. I am Kali MP Saba anyway. Namako.
And I know Ora Justin Kodia Ebekai say sad decision of coming out to accept defeat, wasn't a sole decision. It was a collective thing. Even Onunimpono came in and Kanya Samboa. To be fair, no, and yet Dr. Baumiana Casan didn't pay a buy in painful in
painful your own political experience in it. Now, almost I've been home, say, you could take a decision, a bra, ye kind about. Ye. Now we accept defeat. What we know other parliamentary candidates. That is why we lost miserably with the pieces.
Almost no more Johnny Ghana for you now.
Okay, why Ghana for? And he said, hold on, madam, we are mistaken. You have to accept. And Koya Wadwin said, Uko city on the fence. Why Epimenides? Unkoha Emaha. No. Why mistaken? Be bold and say so. It was a mistake on our part. So Munina and Koya. And the other channel say, anybody 20 could take a decision, no one to make a mistake. Let me say, now be free, Alex Markin. If ye, me ko hwe na ba so mu ka wie. Me see kwam a. Yes, breaking news. Papa no, e ba ya wa accept defeat. Na ye gusu kan aba. Typical example is Tema Central. Sayame agelusu seat no so pa. Enyame gelusu seat no. Uti ase yan kan we ye no. Announcement in the back pepe and NDC for bugu aiso. I had to call reinforcement to the EC. And Ukraino, woman go for one pen so where their boss, and we are so moody. Still, they forced Tema West EC to declare Tema Central for NDC. Namsia Hinena, Yampene. Here court and PP Fontini. Right? In fact, gentle. And a nipa or green or Munkwana or minor and now party on your good leader. May say, when these guys were going to court, I was the only person, many of your marking. And your court. That is how come we got Tema Central. Where were they? Omukwa, Omono, a benefit to Omumor. Where were they?
The benefit to almost the same.
Now, Mimi call a president, Mimi Lucy in Jibankobi. Muamuko be a Mujiri Mono, and never ya bro. Tama, good, Maha, police a year why. Tesano police station. Omodi Baho, Ebekai, Alex Markin were bold. Or you bold. MPP for you, Granny. Not a camel. Then this is for more. What are we talking?
Talking about
I think I had it, to be fair. I can tell minim Canada Japan pa. Minim Canada Japan over 20 how many America say be like 25 years. Minim no pa. This is a matured version of Canada Japan. I've not seen this part of because Busano question crowd she was pushing him and kind of Canada Japan I know who pushing back come here no jack and go back that madam why want him cause I be watching but he comported himself. This is a matured version of Canada Japan.
And then I make us intikase for instance yema yes say am go interview and ke kobisa address for question now then we would have said address for video and then ebi ananka akọ provoke see this is what is going on and yet wabeka Honorable Joseph Wabeka.
But I think that Obusa and address a question, he should have been mature to answer the question without allowing himself to be provoked. I was saying, you question, I know.
This candidate Japan would have ignored it. I'm telling you. Because I watched the interview and it was an hour and 34 minutes. Just a baby or more than 5 years. I was saying, meaning Dean, meaning Minka. Or says, no, my sister also nowhere to know.
And but I also to know for that. Because a minute time here, I see, minimum Canada, Japan, me, have better 25 years. Me, probably so that I can't answer me that.
Confront.
This is how he's been that.
That's it. Before so be almost say Honorable Kennedy and Tibrofo. Now, me to where the business is also more so or Tibrofo the problem to say epidemic medicine and you can't say. Hey, Honorable Kennedy.
I don't even get the proper pronunciation of I don't think
it stands will be as a way.
That's why there is unfair for anybody to say. After all, Ghana governance is not about brofo. We see, but brofo should be our bro. Oh no, Canada Japan is one person. I think me ha many a. Because on one kasa catch and so you crasini ba. So until brofo no cry is irrelevant when you bring it. On one catch say okobo chi on obi anim so you crasini na waba ho. That is not meaning question. The issue is not about brofo. The issue is about when the best of money. And I think Baumia and the campaign Baumia has never made these issues about brofo. Baumia since the beginning of buying national economic guru, he's always spoken about issues. Not just when you say brofo no beka issues. Yeah, na Baumia about for near Kato Baumia entity. And then we have seen that Obi say Baumia history has improved. Because on also school tree ni biaka. So issue should not be limited to brofo. But let me take it to this one too. As I'm a lawyer question room. I just
primaries are
okay.
Honorable Kennedy Japan campaign for Professor Michael Kwe. Yeah. 2017. 2017.
But the reason why I'm playing this video, no be sending my say I say. I don't have also come back no. Now you do cancer Canada Japan there be any do na question and I can say. There I money in Canada Japan I am money in but I don't have to say Canada Japan ye who te man or campaign tiano e support Michael Kwe. Na remember video number holo question.
Yeah, he was on every platform that Professor Michael
Satem Yanano ni woba.
Na menyema kwala na. Yeah.
You see what I just have to pay no ways can or say no anyem ne bucket one. Canada Japan supporting Michael Kwe against her. Pacho mami somebody bi onche. Tina ashase kra make say. I don't support some now campaign or yetia Canada. It's just about campaign. More bad blood between the two of them. Niama Canada Japan in the past. Me this one for minim. The minim ni address of yare ya no ko on the back last one ya when ya or yare ya na obey TikTok na Canada Japan supporting on mum fire no. That is the one that I know that she was going through something and Canada Japan was aware that she was going through something. What you say and one supporting us the baby daddy ka osa na okata na that pass ko to so da bonti naked that one ka odin to makata no so. But he threw her to the dogs. Listen to what she's saying again.
Primaries are Mekoye. Honorable Kennedy Japan campaign for Professor Michael Kwe. Yeah. 2017. 2017, yeah. He was on every platform that Professor Michael Kwe.
Satem Yanano ni woba.
Na menyema kwala na. Yeah.
See that also na onyema crack ne bucket one onyem. And a Canada Japan ye campaign ti ana ya sa no nti ono so ye campaign na onim baby a o ye campaign na Kofi okay mama ko sa video na me bo no so
me come control ena me ka se mbi na to obi ati me ye politician and Honorable Kennedy Agyapong or your politician. Kugudu. Meaning say delegates bebre wa ha. Who kunu your polling station executive. And our yere enso your polling station executive. Mesrao obi ankura na dwen. Obi ankura na dwen wa politics mu. Obi ankura na dwen. Iti Honorable Ken kura na dwen. okra ne ambition me so me kura madwen me so me ye man manyosem na manyosem na obia eye no obia ko babia ne ho be dey me se dey obia ko babia ne ho be dey Dr. Boachika so kan sembi maintain honorable Kennedy Agyapong menene wo mba pore ahofefuo mienu ba mu abaako e na oba abaako it maintain honorable Kennedy Agyapong but your family and friends and
Into on the punchline no so on time no enye family and friends but wo hwe video na me boy ne dey a che say bad blood wo so no onyem ne baketo ano Ken and support no when she needed him most okay a campaign against her what your own support now no problem to na go dey but don't campaign against her which is what Ken did assembly I so ko to se nkofo mienu ku mbusa se den esi na no this is the bad blood between them. This is where Ajasafo's issue no is coming from. Say pass or the campaign amaken and ya no crown man. Obi say Ajasafo into me your first lady. Intia there be before Ajasafo bad picture, na Kennedy Japan, you know we are 4. Intia Ajasafo cast up a picture be up a first lady akoye. Auntie Stella or honey her first wife. And sana why do you know any year visa we no ewo ho. And sana there be Auntie Stella cry Auntie Stella or sana. Ne man penifo ne maame wa America ne ma boys in perken no can do on maame ho ansa na America eni no de no ne visa program no so ho ansa na ne yire anti-christy e wo ho enti adosa bo anko fa Kennedy Japan to person first lady no that one I know that for sure on case of person first lady but there's bad blood between them nti kukuru no na akoka keka ba na zeda gideja and it's sad that we are seeing domestic issue playing out in the public but mama like question where you know call back Jude I mean knowing this one as an additional information so no nyem ne back to an ken amwano wanye campaign bi amwano or thrown under the bus do you think that can be no your campaign nitia kenana although she said there's no bad blood
yeah she was referring to 2007 2007 which was Professor Michael Quay I think said the not lawyer Quay say can was Nansea dia 2020 it said 2007 na wanyama na say bia 2020 when you needed him the most so 2020 because 2020 elections from what we hear KB Bianca last minute honorable Kennedy and Stepoin and KB Bianca yeah sister honorable Ajasawa Bitimelu so I think said na lawyer question to your point you are spot on besides nano assembly you can tell say even from honorable address Safo Kasemu Nancy Crown you can tell it's there is a family issue be ababira politics and that one there is understandable in the I don't put too much premium on the things that she said against Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. The whole point is a strategy. It's supposed to distract Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. The question is, will he allow himself to be distracted by this strategy? And looking at his posture now, I don't think that it's something that will distract him at all. He seems very focused on the job at hand.
Okay. There's also another aspect. I just have a comment to my obi odidi atemla question. Me also akwatena oka no, but I think oka nim cry bad. I'm saying I will call back to baby and out here na get better. Oka nim there. Okay, let me see if I where's oka man off. Now question, una oka kan just have adia na.
Sound.
Onti yanka. Ye dia tu nkan. Onti yanka. Ye dia tu nkan 100% pa. I hire Tonka live and color.
I can hear.
Okay. And I just all come back to them on tea and can buy the attending capa. And he was the one who was justifying the na a canecano. I said, cano or can be will be a provoke no. But I just suppose was a more can to provoke no one or your campaign tiano brow and yam the last one. And I just have to men to abandon mobile did ya matem. That one was punchline against Kennedy Japan because a can record say obi any mawo issues at Kennedy Japan from Akosia if you was nigga Charlotte say crowd the onya ho asem e ma e chini nyina ho asem somebody's argument too is that Kennedy Japan born in the past, no, and then come back at HAC, no. Well, let me know what you think so that you can also join and also share this issue. I think that you can help.
Just a quick year on that. And Amika said, these are some of the things that he's done in the past. And me as a person, even though I'm not part of Kennedy's campaign team, I'm not a Kennedy Japan supporter, we are putting it in context saying may support who will be your primary anymore. Why not come and support Kennedy? These are the things that he did in the past that made some of us uncomfortable. But Nipa SSA.
Yeah.
Until we can all attest to the fact that the Kennedy of the past are Ebiana one yes sister Efia Schwarzenegger Enya and some car and Sembia fan home already so and then made me uncomfortable with Kennedy and main support to Kennedy back then. Never. And I wouldn't have. But the Kennedy of today, is focused on issues, focused on industrialization, focused on improving the livelihoods of the youth of Ghana. That is the message that he's, giving.
So you are saying that the Kennedy Japan today, and it's not the Kennedy Japan,
no, at all. I mean, I've been following his campaign for the past few months. The Kennedy Japan and Caneno Nebia or Casa Ebia or in a denigrating way for a fat and Mahono. And that Kennedy Japan, I was not comfortable with at all. But this Kennedy Japan and Kame were MPP mu and then Kame to primaries Nibia. The Kennedy he says the Kennedy of yesterday, he fought for you. The Kennedy of today, wants to provide jobs for you. That's what he's focused on. They say, this Kennedy is not about me Tom Maho, me Di Martem. This Kennedy is about agriculture. Do
you think that Ken should respond to a honor and use this tagline here? The Kennedy of yesterday fought for you. The Kennedy of you today is creating jobs for you. BBC, do you think he should?
That's what he's focused on, and I think that that's what he should keep focusing on. And that's what I'm saying. Is the campaign team, because they are doing a fantastic job. Honorable Charles Bisu, Miami Penistica, and all the team members, all the young guys are more Edi Nechi, and they are doing a fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic job. That's what he should focus on. He should focus on his messaging. He should continue listening to the lectures of Alan Chamatin on industrialization. He should keep preaching industrialization. I think that if he stays on that path, he's doing.
I don't know about this one. Just a quick one on that. People who say Baumia ya tone dada, why Jumane dada. He's known from Accra to Savulugu, from Wale Besi Kakasunan Kanamba 2. Obienim de di can Baumia. But there are areas in the north Omunim, there are areas in the T region Omunim, and it is a fena muina, a fena obesan tono, and therefore easier to win with a Baumia. How about that too?
As if your mom Kassan, I think maybe your mom said that political marketing and who I said I see ye. And even before I go into that, I can attest that baby who Ghana ha obe boba umiedi omunim no omunim Kennedy Japan. It is not possible. It is not possible. So obe kwa krabia sia obe boba umiedi na yenim Kennedy Japan. It is all the catch me say ba umia ya ton dada o ton wo kwan benso. Because baby and if people like her, they should go out there and research. So can a Caribbean say be upper East Indian? Yeah, political campaign here. So you should strategize or you should focus. Baby, yeah, they'll be your votes free. You don't waste too much energy. And so also trying to say be a Caribbean so upper East, no baby, maybe you'll be Kennedy and Kenty and no HSA and Tono enough. Then you are not as a political marketing and political strategy on TSA. Because I am very, very confident that Kennedy is popular than Baumia or Ghana. I mean, this is very, very simple, just by even looking at the peripheral. And now, popularity it does not equate likability. Let's look and also Enkaho. The fact that you're marketable, it doesn't make you likable. And to Nipa, I will say it didn't call Ayobia, you're marketing not say likable. And that is the quotient that you should be looking at. Yes, Ebia marketed Dr. Baumia all around the country, but is he likable? Ebia marketed Kennedy just 90% of the country, but he is more likable. And maybe I'm not only likability, 85%. Now, but your likability, 45%. And the fact that you're marketing them, it does not make him likable. And if you are not likable, you don't get the votes. It's a horror that was you focus on. Now, and you say, you're torn with that, whatever. I mean, that argument, it doesn't make any.
Okay. Like, because I remember when I'm in Busa, the response address of gave say, Kennedy Japan, your campaign, Tiana, da. On you, the back on to say, I want to, I just come back to inside. No, I'm saying, oh, inside now, Tianka. But yeah, they are tonka pepe. Into one, I want Tianka, yeah, they are tonka pepe. Into my empha, a call us in Bina, yeah, Momo, and Brim, and said, it's about before that, let me play this Ken video way. And Sunny, about bridge you might see you, so I'll come to you very
soon. You catch it, say, for Kennedy, Agyapong, Brana, in bar, Yemi cry, but it's a strong message to you not to make a mistake.
When you miss a baby, so on the other side, no, but they just want to have you say,
the flip side, I'm not a weaker candidate.
Okay.
I'm bold and decisive leader. I'm not going to be coward. They see other candidates as a prey. I bet me at show almost so just like me and this is over to me. I am not going to accept defeat 10 as early as 10 a.m. I am Kali MP Saba Enweye. Namako.
And I know already Justin Kodia Ebe Kain say sad decision of coming out to accept defeat, wasn't a sole decision. It was a collective thing. Even Onunimpono came in and Kanya Samboa. To be fair, no, and yet Dr. Baumiana Kasana didn't pay a buy in painful in
own political experience in the now almost argument say you could take a decision, abra ye kai aba. Ye. Now we accept defeat. What we know other parliamentary candidates. That is why we lost miserably with the pieces.
Almost say no more Johnny Ghana for you now.
Okay, why Ghana for? Hold on, madam. We are mistaken. You have to accept. And Koya Wadrin say Uko city on the fence. Why Epimenides? Unkoha Emaha. No. Why mistaken? Be bold and say so. It was a mistake on our.
And today, I'm fan company because Ken is on fire style behavior. And also, I mean, and he's doing a good job to defend himself. Najuma no to defend himself saying, so I like that example that he was giving. I'm saying, Ken, on the territory, we are saying 10 in the territory. I know what take for a long time. Until no day on a example, no. La question I feel Tianka. Koya de Tonka. Oh Tianka. Oh Tianka. Oh, so sad. Oh, so sorry. Because and then person responded to Agyapong for some man or say Ken mum ne di kaye ne bone or no be campaign tia no pepe. Jude Mpacho say ubenya abuchama mama fa Brichum good evening.
Evening is the Senior Jude so and that's why boy you pa anti that's only lawyer. Via assembly say they say there isn't the quality of front na to akeka. Clear say Ghana for Pekin. Na Ken and soon going to be rescue MPP. Say we are say for say Agyapong for na use na Ebeka Ken more because onim no or ma into monim so well so can was in Biana Ken bab on pet no manyam. And that's what UTV interview now. Can say Omako meeting don't provoking on zone Casada. And the who is almost started, there is no way second records are net or China another can on Casabeam. Now lawyer Jude, they make it very instructive example. Where Mekachida would say, Namiko Ghana about one. I saw Arabic on Okobenyami Master ending. Also, for the dinner or preaching today, I saw man say, or Munim non Kotuma Muslim one. The basic was or help you to about Muslim da. Emma, or more women people for now, some come to Abana. Or one to Abana Crow. Or Tenefie. Our uncle to Abana. And so, Wesley girls are some abaye. So, tea how Muslim knows where MPP knew, and this new, we don't voice from Razy ya. Then you don't get what. Or Musa Echo Bonnie and Musa Damqua fake push we say, oh, Ghana for cry here. A bear a Ghana for say a religion and politics on. And I'm that's American po religion any tribe I can politics on. There's the fear or my ultimo Ghana. Oh, what oba kra, papa tim ka say oba ni free kro be so. I don't need an anko ware no. Oba tim ka yetim ka che ofie say so oba no we bia bruni a hwe no anko ware no. We agweni a hwe no anko ware no. We mfantini a da be no hu se Kristo ni be ma fare ne kai agbakọ ko ran kramu de ma ko kramu ni ba mo ma prenda. Om ga jira say ko ne kotuba. Ne ni baba ko. Enti sibia Ghana ni se de lo yid kan no. Abontin de on be se be di na temti. Oh, kramu pe, oh kramu ni we yen na ba ko ogura ne da nwa. Anu asem wo be kan so ti a hwe obeku ho. So could you about me catch your last time 2023 Afro Barometer reports like I said 11% of voters I say ethnicity no big dance to about 12% of voters say religion no big dance to about and I'm say the 12% of 18 million voters I say 11% of 18 million voters I say now we use so about but I'm no but on what ko se edu no body duku no yin yakopon aya o be ka se sa dwun ni ntirimu da me won ko ra box nim ana won ko je yon ko Kristo ni e ho na be hu se ase mo ka no me say we see get asem buy madam fi frame me from Ghana no say hey boy hey nyame na abo apo se ka woni be president ya be si Ghana nya papa wo asamfo we nkura na hwede aggression ya America sa wo hu eti bibi wo wa on a lighter note wo be fa ne se nya hwe oh but go for market wo say no we a time bomb Ochiranko, Paragraph, Wachidankwa. Eko kasa, ewo I think city. And I say Christian community no almost throw se Ghana be Islamized in their head at the back of their mind. Then before the yeah, but then no Christian community no mon kasa ba o madwuma so for no madwuma no. O ma hwe yie a, o fo say o ma hwe yie a. Ghana be
Bishop also answer the discussion that were going on a software on the platform they are same way na no more can.
Yes, sir. But who be software be na ka obi apepa no. Enti Ghana no nya atwom nti Ghana ni bezo be kan okore. Oni se obedi na tem say we nipa mu yimu. Ada nti na Ken ka say north ho. O ka say e campaign ti o so oboa ye bo buri na abu voice. O di obi be ka say buri na abu so fefe nkrofo say hwe na say if you no na the project buy say am project no mboafu no. Ken kan na UTV say election committee na ya tie na ya be hwe 2026 January 31st abana so no. Ba ko kan no say ono edu ni time ono nko ato mako 40 project 40 na project ni do me say if you pass wo free asante mampon na asante mampon e bia krom kidinkiti o bia kofi ase ana say krom kidinkiti no na obi aba say mama 1000 Ghana me the letter ba sign say onko to aba na meto ma project and the yenwie no say delegate say o mampon 500 a emu 200 ye o ma sensan we age o vote ogu rada and ni pa ya chairman ko ma koto and ni ka say am project no no mu hutin fifire no yeso enim o nkrofo na o campo no e be boy amane say djuma no budi ano no and ni ade say election we e be ko yi omni say defia last 2023 Baumia ABT Kennedy ewa Accra Greater Accra less than 2,000 votes and omni say this time no Accra and Ashanti in population no Accra na 10 pe central there ya 10 na wie onabo ma wuada roma otini voter ye be ho adwuma ye da onabo Brian say east ye oba ye ba obi ho adwuma ma ye ami nso akobo akakra ye nwie no edutwum so atwema area ho wo do papa wanyine no mfase kai no o doko because Ashanti region edutwum boy abro pa e no gina na so nti edutwum nya votes more na ebo aye ye be wie no e be ngrofo se sini jabare de anim se ye de adwumade ne ye ken onye onko interview kra biem eye wojai kosi kwa aten no agbo papom nya adwuma no na edani duru a the defense ebeye ayi ngrofo se dayeso
milk and on feel only the famous yes you can to me stress I think Ghana where there's a milk and honor. Good evening.
Five Mr. Via design.
Yeah, also.
Adomo, Mr. Ju, why are the only lawyer? Makasaka Mapa Meniaji. Adama, Sister Via, some last time I'm working. ɛnoa no mo repeat ni na metie ni nyina ensema na meka no ɛnoa no mo ka ni nyina on se juka alanche maten asɛm a ɔka nyina na kana Japan ka no kana Japan asɛm ɔka nso nyina yɛ fact wo si university na ma wo edistia na ma wo de akɔhwe ase yes university na ma obi o university na ma obi o anya wo party nyo nko na wo obetu bi wo kwamna Japan senya no ma bi na course a kwamna Japan no woyɛ material pa ba yɛn ka no kore o party ni mu
kwamna Japan de
kana Japan mete kwamna Japan enye aya alaya ka kana Japan ko ntinsim kana Japan no respect ala sen ka ala mbeba onim sa ala betima ya adwuma no but ala hwe deputies from union de kan ne ho masa ensem o party no ye mpese e beka na emom ese eto ye boase na ehie no mayie ala wokɔ nanso ɔtachiri nyansa bi obede bɔ party no bi a party no mfiri mu ala mfiri party no mu ni susum tachiri ba manfo nte no ma bi ase eno ma de ya ala no wo a enka nya odeda ese e ka no kore ala waya ade o waya ade but asem bi ahin hwɛ de no ma de ya ala aninti ena ama na basa adwasafo e kasa asem wi mumu se adwasafo ama me se o kai se o kan se MPP for ba ne papa dwuma ne basese ne papa bieye MPP for gu no na enyi for ne net so na kana Japan ne net so kana Japan ne be gu ne papa dwuma na mumu se adwasafo ama me adwasafo na num to ye ni interview ono ane kan se ne papa adwuma ne basese obieye no ye gu no na ewiate nipa ni nkaye enipa won kaye ankanyi se nete hwe enya nwanwa se ono yerete na yere betimi abɔ party yinkun ebi esi and so
are you people also dismissing asema adwasafo kan say 2007 Kennedy Japan ankasa so ye campaign tia no to all right on to tia no
yes I politics adwasafo na akyerɛkyerɛ mo say politics ɛna me yɛ mfato sɛ wo yere kwa na ntiko betimi am yakun enti enya nwanwa sauti ase enti ye politics no ye wa kyerɛkyerɛ mo say politics no mo ye enti obi ntimi nkyerɛ ne sɛ ɔmra ha na atochi so ɔnso na odi campaign odi ba omi akyi alenchemat ayi kwamna Japan nya no mu di akyire enso so obi a so aye dey afa forms Brian no odi nachi enti mra ba so obi atimi so na agye obi kodi obi akyire ne nya temdidie obi a wo se do sipe na ade enti kana Japan nsɛm wɔka no marketing no ankasa me yehu sɛ kana Japan nsɛm wɔka nya no korɛ yɛn kyerɛ ba omia factory ba ko pa wa bi anadwuma nipa do a wafa wo on kyerɛ me yehu brown de yɛ nim kura wa bi wote ase onyuma enti ɔno so meka de wɔyɛ enya temdidie aduru mra yenya sa temdidie no na party no ɛden yɛ entimi mu because MPP enye party ketwa wo bida uda me say me the example kura ma NDC Lawrence na only kwadu agema wo no kwadu agema te no kote ne party ba no NDC still afutu odi Lawrence de ma NDC for no oka che say MPP for munya easy party o enti munya basa na yere wo ho na ne ba wo ho enti party de obi a wo de ojoin wo yere kura to kura no obi ko Pentecost obi ko Roman what you say obi ye Muslim enso timi wa Christiani enti enya nwanwa enti adwasafo ansem okanya eda na se waya ade pa campaign kura fe kwa na otu mu nkyene wo boa kana Japan pa ba de oka no obi fi se bi o se kana Japan ene kwa no one ne wo ma mienu ajapade bi oba bia no eya ne ma ne benya bi ene no oka se kana Japan ni nyuma wa ye o parliament wo dada no wa ye no kana Japan ba obetima ma ne post ene kra kana Japan onyu boni aye wo ye party ni ba wo twɛ se otusu de opɛ ene no nkyɛ se de opɛ no obi nka se mentusu dabi ajasafo wa ya de se wotimi bo MPP fo aki na wo so na papa adwuma na wo ye be gu na yi ne de na ye wo ya na wotimi be kan ya e ma akɔkyena America ne ye fro se bra ne ye pa o chokere je pa o cho se bra ne be boa ne ye nto aba wo so omma ye kan enum se nyina wa ama
enti na aba against na oyare na yare
mami nka sem kyerɛw me nka sɛ na onyare ye fa yare ensere ɛna de ne wo ka no ne ka kwan sɛ so ne ni kwa sɛ obeye video be sa ane ade de wo ka na me ka bi ato ne de sɛ ye gu ni papa dwuma na ye ne ya me boa sɛ no ye pani wo MPP wa ka ne position ya wa ye nyina wo MPP ba ni person na support wo ma ba ye what you say enti sɛ BBC e party no sɛ nya omo a ɛsɛ otimbe de ebeboa because post bi a obi ye adwuma kyɛw so apost na wonya no wanya ɛso ye hwɛ wonim de ma what you say and na me BBC na bibi adu ba bi what you say enti ka sɛ bi wo a omto oba omia de but enkasa sɛ obema odidi atem ne ade sɛ bi kana Japan enye ofitian no didi obi atem o mo say 10 cents of kana Japan 10 cents for brown 10 cents from adutum and say 10 cents no na ye for na party ni na adwuma no mo ya na so mo ya mo ho sa na business MPP for no Yeah, akwabi be kan na no say. Akwabi be kan say. Me can say bia ni ade but sa akwa me man warning. Next time oba na adwene nya ma adwene. Na adwene woni trim. On kana stem. Na me so men kama sem. Sabe mundiri fie. Anya na mama adwene di. Me MPP for na me ka o. Hwe sister fia me cast match o MPP buy. And na Jude kan.
Adwuma waja here because of MPP for what can actually me da waka.
Me say me my boka omo me nimi me. Me say my boka. MPP the team sika. And I'm that Kroma award me. And to me, yes, me my boka no. Number support party no. Over 5 years 4 cities. Who da could do 17 cities. Now say first year one of the Sierra Kofiasia. Yes, I Sierra Kofiasia.
Obi say Mr. Obi see me Musa. What's about me and the factory no. Mama factory and so say about Mama. Obi see me Musa.
Mama why farm? Mama why farm? Mama any farm? Mama or farms or Mama show me actually. What the strata so no ye. Nti won so show ne farm ta why ni sire mom yenhwe. Why? And yes, the amount that Kofiasi. Aye, Mama 1 year she can Mama Oba na ye. Obi about 1 year. What else 8 years went me anya she. Oba 1 year I will say Mahama faili. Wa faili. Or transfer 4 years na ko amaka na Japan ba beto aso. Mumpo saa na eko. Why?
Mami na ati
Ebi wudi kasafa. If you listen, yeah, your opportunity, but I need Nana Casa no way, no one say, I do know it's your opportunity.
On my training, I have fear to say, no, I have it.
Even on Stefia, senior Mechia with your phone, Mechia lawyer. So, Stefia, you see, many of your beggars and Mr. Aka may support 200 times. Some medical I
know pay down voice, I'm why.
Some medical catch you say, and can you watch your agree? Yes, sisi wo party ma wo se ayen kofo kasa dodo. Ti metem bia no me support ne o ka no. Ne yaw ana wo ka and then he is always right. Yes wo ka ema party ni hu because MPP party ni yedi kan aka omusuban no wa ma wani anye den na wa nko ama ho a de bia yebe edu say no de yehia wo bia omo ba wo be sensisiu. Next if ya menua ba na sema no wo ka adwasafo you see sometimes you know party assembly but ebushun assembly no say what they bema you need to be careful because one you careful one way ya no amankofo aka ko baby ni kwan so mokako yewo ade bi wo say sebi nipa wo ne nye nipa wo ne nye bibia ye de o ka ne ho asema no aye careful se bema na no ya next wada won chain da you should be careful because oye say na it's like one who say do what because honorable yet said
Michael can so can be a tia address for the yare no so can be the address for no
sister Fia you see honorable Canada now ojina so oni address for kunya emi say one thing as at that point you know now honorable can believe say MPP here address for 100% in any situation say brand never boa party no you see and na honorable dey be to be okasa be brain as no or kasa abwa ama MPP at that time I know mu hia o as a member of parliament now they were fighting for something necessary ana omo de toa na de atoa omo de toa na de atoa and you see in life no eto de bia na me our receive no eto bia nya ye hia papa sie bi wo ye life mo se wanya obi a sebi obetu nani are akeka ne kure akire nipa eye to de bia na akoye se tambia no ye tafre ne ma ho ye mpese ye bebo point ne so party ni hia oti o yare ye nka se onyare o ye so oyare bra just a moment na bra na be ye de party no epe na sa akobaka na oti wonom na wo dada ho TV so ne you know we are be catch say ya now yare oti me pa social media be dada ho for couple of minutes ne hours now we are say me yare so at that time no
and if we yare
at that time na necessary it's no no there me feel say enye wrong thing and honorable ye no but say wo beto na wo didi matem na say for ninyi achi no what than in champion it's at that time no me wo kasa me feel say you are insulting yourself because also your ba what than in champion nti ni kwan say ogo na there na eya mesre a wo kan e Baumia finance minister now if you do tomorrow oye there ana Baumia ye mate na wo ye mate na mate wuntimi adutum na oye there anya Ghana fonya na ebo adutum so won adwuma won waso a obo no education sector satam no ye president
okay
adutum no ye president na adutum ye minister na say if Baumia ye mate as vice president na do twumi minister na na do twumpa no se ye de ba mate ne driver mo na nko ye de on de no nko passenger kura no nko man hu no nko man passenger ho kura nti en de omunya saa o ye mate no ne vision na no wo ma Ghana ba o mia starting from 2008 no wa fail yes what you mo honum say the vision say obema Ghana economy no are standing in a different way no wa fail wo honum eti yes what you say ho na say open year on restructure no ye no nya say necessary MTN adwuma nya e ono na create no ba o mia wo achievement ye there ya interoperability adia MTN na in other sense kwa adia na wo say na create ye no what was a contradicting Oba na mahama assign deal no and deal no was very huge amount of sums and they don't have a fighting my price in this call from. Now they are create here then I feel not assigning my price call from. But me idea no create here me Ghana ya bruchi. You vision be any one. Ni vision na nanki nim so one economy no wa fairly wo ho. Honorable vision or deba out is so clear understandable. What they Accra 5 years cry jina honum. Na busan so ma sorry o ko hin obeka cho so ko adwuma o ma me anko adwuma munye sika wonim se ne ma me anko adwuma munye sika honorable kasa asem when people don't understand ye ya betina abrochira no ma wo me twa wo kira abonten asisi obehu sunu egu abonten enye ye pene se you awo bi de de me amede awura meka mu enye ye pene se ya betina ho eye adwuma se ye ba kromanom ana adwuma ni hanom ana omo ye se sebi yemla ne yembe nama na hefa menya sure se nke mu bebre wa ye betina nke ye be ko yekrom akwakotena yekrom eti nipa se woni adwuma o life miserable yaba Ghana yeso yeso eni ne yekokoso na Ghana boga benya no boga ede ne ede aba sika kakra ye ba ha ye be pay ne ja ye de ba fie ni abaye yi enti adwuma is very important in nipa your life enti yes ye te ase ani nya ye support honorable so obetumi aye de aba but me kana me kakosi se mahama adwuma wo bo no se ye nya obi a ye de che ne nsa obetumi ato aso yi na ekodiba omiansa they are going to go back to the same thing because Juma Mahama no Mahama episode will leave very good legacy na sa legacy no ye mfa show obi a ye de ade hye ne nsa o ma ne ye basa ye de show obi a o ye desperate so obema o man asesa which is honorable I'm praying and believing say honorable be ye ebeboa na Ghana for beboa na honorable etumi aye aba Steve akakra meka me da ase
Yo, Bra Michael, yeah, that's so no, so I didn't down so oh dear, Bra Mama, good evening, Yakaba.
About what minka.
I tonga, ain't you?
If you are good evening, you may buy at for me. But it's a be able call the lawyer, but you met your if you are, yeah, they ask them, they are simple. They are simple. In the time, Anna, ex vice president, Mr. Atta, now vice president, now you're setting 170 questions, man. You're setting 170 questions, man. Said now, or carbine within a set questions, the man. As all may answer. At the end, necessary. Obiswa be hold the same position for 8 solid years. Let's any pan about one thing, or no so every take understand say not okay be bana yeah man a voice number. Stay here, minu, as we say, it will be very difficult for you to convince us to believe this. Message is simple. Ken is coming. Ain't you know? Yes, say your beji party nesiwo. Party no, your beji party nesiwo. Say we ebina lawyer Jude mu nyina de koyi. Omo nyina ye nkofo. Omo ye dia. Traditions ni bibia. Traditions ni bibia wo mu. Ba enewa bi ankofo bi your party nim. Kwase ebon kitinkiti bi etintim nkofo say if you dey bia no make say yet like almost kiwi ni almost kiwi to 2023 elections say ko primary say ko ye Alan na ye dey also oyema party ni Stefia e dey ne ko see ye it is that time no if Dr. Baumia wasn't the vice president then akasa elections in Kobenya akonya now all the government machineries no then eternal Stefia ya bro enya bochi tena na ye do ye be se ye kofie ya be ginim ya be sua ade ya be ginim de ya be gintite ya wa yi kura huge qualifications ye person ye kofie na ye ko settle down ye ko boy you krum but you say where is the opportunity if you risk it and you go now, acha usika de beko na acha 2 months.
Nasa.
That's now go first at so bogaminio mama is no okoka krumu. Stefia. Enye easy. Na say we krumu a say like ice, ube soil okay nimu nyina ice then o enokwa den kasno kranto. Enokwa den kasno kranto then they will say oh prapra snow they won't say oh ice no dey o the way nu na dey o the scraper no on sa no nyina ya o ya Stefia. As is your cold room. It's your cold room air fish when you ma. A message in there simple. We don't care the Obia Baba yet, we don't care. We only need change, and change must happen now. You ever see a party, no? And it's can all the way. It's can if you are any panel yenim the city. Anna, Adana and go for Empressor or mechanical and say, Stefia, any pay and Obia 2 sides. You have your bad side and you have your good side. And we the Africans, we are so tilted towards a Nipan bad side and at the wrongdoing of the Nipan. Ebia, the positive impact in the Nipan bet me there bano. And no cry outweigh and neman bonnet and neman kitting now. Why na momo say outweigh any baby. And na may make it good use of the positive impact that the person is bringing. That's what the message. We don't yeah, this still amount at the abaya bosso amount. Yeah, this still amount the abaya bosso at the amount. What could you accident? Yeah, pesa I didn't be but show me that was
That's it, Brakosi. Michael. Michael, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sister Ifya.
Yentiwe.
I don't even go. Okay, me that's it. Sister Ifya. I quite say, in Crofona Mukasama Agyapong na no. Me who say I'm in Aqua NDC for. Majority NDC for. Oh yeah, NDC. Because we're in the weather, a whole Felix Kwachi, government spokesperson, Timmy Kotran live TV, so Timmy can say, Moody Agyapong bar, I never mind people winning bar. What does it tell you? Eh? Kevin Taylor, who can Agyapong in Eku, on your campaign now. Then a chill. In Sakoya say, in same thing I am Crofubika say, Agyapong is in the bed with NDC now, Sakoya just to destroy MPP. Yeah,
as I answer that question.
Oh, it's the one thing that come be dream Musayampa. You will not, or a politician, until me Kasayampa. Let's get it right. It's never be someone who say whole of Usokwati, government spokesperson. Timber Casa Agyapong Bambi Winnie. Hey, then I catch a cigar actually. What is I just have 4 issues. You can't say, I already point me, and I like the point. I see the family and friends. Ampa edienya power your party no into full say ono ko hwese o any baby daddy into ko campaign amano na ene Agyapong be president don come just have position then again for beka na even Agyapong wanye fair ma just have ni kasa bebe bro kasa ni na campaign yelu su do mi kwa benya abasa yi level se sem by kasa abasa yi level se sem na by no kasa kan ye won fa woni point to say your baby mama mpo kasa mo kan ye kasa ya fa mama we hu and mama challenge you say o say mo kan na fa prove bra for evidence bra na for na mechi e papa cho when am don back door be papa mama ni cho
now so evidence just o papa na cho this one no bet me the prove about
papa wu ye no Agyapong we na si papa wu no say Agyapong ko chia obe uni ni wo ba papa wu unu wo. Let's face the fact here. Let's face you can say
and also say asem wo ho Mr. Fe, no matter how me baby mama oti bia me ba bonti be kase bia nchanida I'll give that respect and that just for you and you wow ba ko tran wo America wow ba and you bia ni ba and wu Agyapong ba. Let's face the fact here. What you see? Me Agyapong what say me on your leader mami. On your leader, show the code ya be and code ya me dinu ya pa. Ya general secretary me dinu ya. Why no say Lumba? Why don't say that the Lumba?
Oh yeah. What would that the lumba? That the lumba. Unimpa say seven kofu can afa we either akoda say wanyampa say no poison. What time for 10 good years as I be you wano. Kodia. You see where I'm coming from? Kodia. What time for so many months, so many years? Unimpa say decision about me taking you know. A cabinet decision. A cabinet decision. What time for so many years? As I be you wano as I say a cabinet decision and about me decision now. What you got declare sir? They know. What I say, and Agyapong, you are. I said, oh, as some of America, Amukano, who say it's never true. It took Agyapong. What I say, oh, your leader, a trouble, say, be anymore, over the dictator, over control, you control your power. You can't be a untie. You can't be a untie because so your leader. Who your leader? Not your cabinet. And also the leader. So this is by the two so Kokan because no your leader. Ya ko decision we ya ho asem ni po die ni ko ka asem ni maye ndu ko ya po osa ka asem bi say obemi ba omia say sit na ye lusu ni na every ba omia akere ya po ade internal by president na MPB ko lusu ni sit e di be bemu who as a flag bearer will you be happy? What is the duty of the MP now contesting the seat no the duty ni say until 152 seat and protect who can say who ballot. Why could you blame the flag bearer? I don't even want to go so what to go. What I see. So let's be honest here. See if you have been cut or say me when because Agyapong and confirm I'm declare no so be contesting I'm depart na blow. In confirm I converting I'm declare Agyapong I be contesting some flag bearer race I'm depart na blow.
No, don't want to
I be contesting I'm depart na bro. I'm telling you. Sure, besides then I fuck yeah. Then I come back Japan yeah. Sami Kabda la mu yeah. Then I mu full party mu. Then I mu yeah. Okay. Never be I say mu yeah anko yeah na yeah mu full party mu. But you say can Japan cover party no. No matter who say sure that me dey you no. Say no matter how puna party no ya be puna nya. Ya kana kokwe mu. Oba want to make case me brave for party then they decide to contest again. They which is the party leaders people are not fair to those who in conform with your party. You guys are not fair to them. Let's be honest here. You guys are not fair to them. Stevia, me trust you can. Stevia, me trust no. Yeah, me trust no. Stevia, sure. Me catch us. Me Baumia stand tall. Baumia, sure. Mu na mu so book the Japan no. Mu say mu the economics. Every Baumia. But I say you guys don't learn nothing. A whole president. I can say COVID. I did 20 years. Mahama, I got cancer. COVID 20. So which means the economy. It was on crash. I think I still go back. Still blame on the economies. Why? A whole opposition party. Wabeka. And you guys are still blaming on the economics. That's not fair. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here.
Come on. And then what when you can't count both was same. See about me and echo. On the candidate about me as well. Me and echo. Nana Pacho, good evening.
Good evening, Auntie Pia, and I'm pumped to say.
But I do my conversation to you.
The issue I'm saying, I did back when MPP was say, you whom say, politicians say, and to say, they say, no, Ubia per se, ye or ye gun any. Sa part in Tadian, ye regu. It is a idea a bit boagan on the day, any in your eka. But say, no, Mon says, oh, can't dear boagana. 9 people for to be, but my uncle for to be say, we end this in it. Suddenly, I'm doing why I'm in Chassis. I did a boy, man, I might deny ye de tumpono. Okay, yes, we end this in it. Dear my may and no more contribution a quay Ghana no more costo. And no matter from the call Ghana and see Musa no more epic come. But to Cocas is here. Yes, we end this in it. Sadly, India or see a giant.
Okay.
Now, the also kind of say is it no can no vote. The more the camp for Baumia and our economy almost had any idea economy. adan about me so dia system ekoso a emitasa feze emisata nti sa utimi ko dia sem koso emisata dia san de beso wo ko wo no economy ntina ye do ba ye na do ka kire say si di na hata nti wo na wo do ba se de ba ya wo betima ma economy na gina yi na ba ni se economy na nyina je tima nyina yi a na wo firi economy na wo ko hu school no ho e de akọ feze digitalization se den dey digitalization enu enya hu school na akọ ye wo de economy eni ese beye wo ya na me MTN so me kai 2000 and something me maame na wo ye university me sa ko no tata na me MTN me na de call rounds tata de nyina me ye koye yi nyina ena wo so de yi na wo na de ba ngo de ba wo na de ba ese MTN na de ba o be jafa ba me ni so ye sa gina economy na wo so wo ko hu school na wo so be ye no so gina ho na wo kasa what does it na wo campaign wo ka te what ka de kwa wo so ye kre jafa kwa o chi do person ade obetimi aye o man no en worker also kwa ka do obetimi aye what does it ba wo kwa undimi ka do obetimi aye na wo kan go fo nsem na ade we komien san eno no te say na ye ba no ya dwuma bio enye tap first na ye di wo kan sam keke ni ye di auto ba ma ye so na we no ho free na say sa de efiri ho into say bi vom panifo na o me wo hoda no ana say o me di ba o me chi no o me tun wadwin mu say fa campaign first na twam eni ho biem te say ye pe ade obetimi aye policies a obetimi abo o man na me nyine ho to eni ye pe adwosa fu de obekan ye mi mom de o kan na me bo me say man because waboa America Japan campaign no ekoyie ba ade adwosa fu kan no ama ba me vote best 2000 ate efiri so da oh what campaign ma first again aso obekan ye who say first mistake in ye in the position ya enti ye sua de na wo sua de awusa so be kai wan say sua de wo ho what's up cast na say no kura enti o fi say even you first say wakwaji o because so you say o mo say first mami a no o ye o mo say o mo de yi first say atosi enti o mo po ba bi so no so ba be kan bi na so on setimi ba to ntimi no kura ye no kura so ko so de first say ntro na say ntemhunu bi e be kata no kura so enye yie ya adwo se be kan ni nyina ono asa ebuotia no ho ana wasa ama kre Japan kura de sa akosoro say be ma na won na wo mienu no wunnim no etike Japan de once awon woni no na wo na wo ba no on fa wo odu usi wo kwa on fa wo o ma post da enti no wo ma na hu say kre Japan wo ni fa wo ya principal person on for the many agro wo yi na ye ama say wo ni fa na wo ye senka wo no wo be ka asme cha ba o mia no wa ma no say bolusu vote 2000 eko wa nya de address enti no ye say no ye kasa imi hu say Ghana no e de nyina ye pe kriapo aso kan nyina no Ghana yi de ne ye pe address from ye hu say ye ne selfish interest en wo pe onye Ghana ho and a delegate from eti ho na o si wo na wa deputy minister and we receive ye no mo delegate na butoro receive we ka Japan so kan nyina no kama ye ya ye see no ye ni bi ye see nyina ye ni bi and we no ye no bo ya ma ye nyina itimi abegina yi na so do wo CV a for CV na fa ko na ye ni CV no ye ni ka Japan chi ni ye mo no man timi gina yi ni nsima ambaja ka ba ko ya ni nsima mo kan nyina no ka Japan so kan no it is said the Kwame Nkrumah start to ka say independent now and about me so de na kwa say UP time no independent kakran nye kakra that day ni obi mo we say independent now
okay yo that's it that's it say I say CPP ni UGCC for no Jude my musa any final thoughts on same way je be kwa wie sen do you envisage that there will be another comeback by Agyapong, there will be another fire back from Ken camp and
it all depends on how Kennedy Agyapong and his team ever responded. In my humble opinion, I think so. Ignore. I mean, a campaigner, or more, yes, sister, just Safwa as well on the reservations be about Kennedy in relation to no one in the family in the but in some of the in regards to Kennedy didn't matter near, I was a bit uncomfortable with it. But it all depends on how Kennedy Mobe responded. And from what I am seeing now, it doesn't seem like the strategy say on percent commodity provoke Kennedy. But a man can be and never be interview because video never and some great interview. Wow, also one count. It looks like he's focused, he's staying focused. And I think that would be the best approach for him to take. So if he really wants to be able to win the Yenuma and Kayiki won't fin. So in political idea, there will be more deeper will be more Kennedy assembly because you see Otuja or Kevin. And they are very uncomfortable with that style of politicking. And to say, as a Kennedy approach our family is appealing to some middle people now. As a minimum sano, I'm just interested in the message, any industrialization message or they money. If he stays on that route, yes, the fact that they say on Kasabibre and answer on to Agyapong, it doesn't mean that he is weak. Or more Omunim Kennedy Ninim say yes, he is still a man of principle. Or cast saying obey. There no interest was a time you better answer na ebia o can no waka and until he should focus on winning that middle grounds nanka usually nanka on a normal day no come back to Alajiba because you say Alajiba a economist or you say with the message Kennedy the other forms saying is appealing to more economists or more lawyers or more industrialists, agriculturalists or munina. So he should stay on that route, and I think that would be the best for his campaign to do.
Yo, Kwame Judy, that's a baby. So when I come on, Nana, wait there. Time now, and then they were producer and make sure my son. Now say they be we are time in team. But I'm from Wednesday. Why? I bet was on this MPP. To you, God bless you. Why? And I will be joining it. About this has been MPP for primaries on OK 101.7 FM. Your family Vim lady. But Wednesday we'll bring you another one because they me when they say there will be another response from Baumia camp. There will be another response from Kennedy Agyapong camp. When we look at other camps, no me Bob Brian a champo video ama a Western North near other places. We'll be looking at only Dr. Duchum and Kwabne Agyapong. What is happening in Kwabne Agyapong? Say, Kwabne Agyapong out of it, and I feel sad for Kwabne Agyapong because lack of resources in is not so able to be everywhere like other people. No, and about to also Yampa Wednesday. Your friend Vim lady, Yakupon Yadma Wednesday. Good night. Thank you.